We now head to the co-main event of the evening. It is heavyweight action. Jeff Lights Out Hughes taking on Ryan Prokifka.
The following contest is a professional bout in the RFO heavyweight division, and it is brought to you by ABC Supply Company. Introducing first, making his way down the aisle into the blue corner, please welcome Ryan Prokifka.
Ryan Prokifka from Mass Gym and Victorious MMA. Hails from Redford, Michigan, John. A 5-3 heavyweight as a pro. Last fight was in September. That was a decision loss, 5-round decision loss to a guy named Arjun Bueller. Now, that may not be a name familiar to cage fighting fans just yet, but the reason is he is signed but has not yet fought in the UFC. Arjun Bueller was also a silver medalist in Vancouver in freestyle wrestling. And what that means for this fight is Prokifka went 5 rounds with him. And to say you got in the cage for 5 rounds with an Olympic silver medalist says a lot. Prokifka is a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, relies on his wrestling, not afraid to throw hands, but it's gonna come down to the wrestling. We're gonna have a classic striker versus grappler match.
I was just gonna say, there is no question about it that he wants to get this fight to the ground. Jeff Lights Out Hughes, there's a reason he's lights out, is that he is known as a knockout specialist, and Pokey, he wants to get this fight to the ground, and I fully expect he'll throw some leather, but make no mistake about it, he's gonna get this fight to the ground sooner than later.
Making his way down the aisle into the red corner, please welcome Jeff Lights Out Hughes.
We take a look at the tail of the tape, John.
Yeah, both guys are about the same age, 30 versus 29, 5'11 versus 6'2. The records are comparable, 5-3 versus 6-1. We got 7 fights versus 8 fights as a professional. As he comes out to the, it's Jeff Lights Out Hughes, he comes out to the Rocky theme. But the big thing is, as you mentioned, this is, they say styles make fights. We are gonna see, this is a classic grappler versus striker fight. And we are gonna see, Pokey is gonna try to get this fight to the ground, where Hughes wants to keep it on his feet.
Jeff Hughes, 6-1, unblemished until his most recent fight, which was against UFC vet Dan Spahn. He lost by a knockout in the 5th round, and Jeff Hughes said that opened his eyes that he could lose, yet his confidence is high. He's ready to fight. He's been working with a boxing trainer in John, who just recently, Jeff Hughes received his blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but he knows his time is now. He's got to make a run at the big show. If he's going to do it, he's going to do it right now. This is a very important fight for him.
Absolutely, and he's been working with John Cook and all the guys that evolve MMA, and one of the things that he's had kind of an up and down training session over the last few years, where he's been on the top of his game, the bottom of his game, and I think all that comes together, and he's right now, he knows, as you mentioned, it's his time. He's got to do it and do it right now.
Jeff Hughes' biggest victory of his career was a decision win in RFO cage at Big Guns 18 over John Hawk. Let's see if he can repeat that magic tonight. We send it to Jake Digman for the official introductions.
The following contest is in the RFO Professional Heavyweight Division, and it is brought to you by ABC Supply Company. Introducing first in the blue corner, he fights out of Detroit, Michigan. He weighed in at 252 pounds, representing Mass Gym and Victorious MMA. He has a professional record of 5 wins with 3 losses. Please welcome Ryan Prokifka. His opponent in the red corner, he fights out of Medina, Ohio. He weighed in at 257.5 pounds, representing Evolve MMA. He has a professional record, 6 wins, 1 loss. Please welcome Jeff Lights Out Hughes. This bout is scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds, and when the action begins, your referee is Mr. Brent Bullock.
Heavyweight action. Ryan Prokrivka in the orange. Jeff Lights Out Hughes in the white. Brent Bullock, third man in the cage. I'm Ryan Kavanaugh, along with the champ, John Sturmack, former RFO Bantamweight champ. He's part of starting this whole thing. And Jeff Hughes, the clean shaven up top, Jeff Hughes.
Jeff Hughes in the white trunks comes out. He wants to keep this fight standing. There's no question. Nice jab off the bat.
Yeah, Jeff Hughes has been working with a boxing trainer in preparation for this fight, and feels like his hands are improved, and so far he's snapping the jab out.
Well, what Jeff Hughes really needs to be wary of, he's got to worry about that takedown, because there's no question that Pokey wants to get this fight to the ground. Pokey will want to keep this fight standing as long as he can, but at some point, in my opinion, this fight's going to the ground. And Jeff Hughes really wants to make sure that that does not happen.
Jeff Hughes right now content to keep Prokrivka at the end of his punches, using that reach and leg attacks.
Yeah, and he's doing a nice job with those outside leg kicks.
Good left, and watch for Hughes to come over top with that right hand. Setting it up with the jab. There was the right hand, and Prokrivka takes it and fires back.
Yeah, very impressed. Pokey really doesn't seem fazed by Hughes' power, but I think Hughes may not have as much power behind his punches, anticipating a takedown.
Looked like a poke there, open hand from Jeff Hughes, and Hughes now using the left lead jab and the lead sweeping left hook.
And Hughes right now still feeling him out with the jab. Just under 3 minutes.
And Hughes using that jab more as a rangefinder at this point, not really using much damage, but those jabs add up over time. And Hughes looks to be the much more comfortable fighter on the feet.
Yeah, I would not have, like I said, I fully expect Pokey to try a takedown at some point.
And there he closed the distance, gets into the clinch game. And there's the takedown. Let's see if he can finish this single.
He's trying for a single leg. Okay, didn't work, so he's going to try to work the legs. Pokey's corner screaming to hook the leg.
Asking for a thigh punch is what they're asking for.
And Hughes reverses it. Oh!
Spinning back fist that misses. And it caused Jeff Hughes to lose his balance. But spinning back elbow from Jeff Hughes is what missed.
And of course, because they're going to start bleeding, they come right over by us. He's trying to get both legs. Trying to get both legs connected. Doesn't look like it's going to happen.
And the corner is asking him to switch to a single.
Right now he's still trying for the double.
And now he switches to the single, working on the left leg of Hughes. He's going to try and suck it out. But Jeff Hughes, good balance and good takedown defense.
Yeah, right now with Jeff Hughes, to his credit, he's using the cage as his friend. You know, sometimes when you're, as an amateur, you feel you're up against the cage, you get panicked. But as a professional, you realize and you understand the cage can be your friend. And you get put up against the cage, that's just one more way you can use to balance it. Now Jeff Hughes switches. Jeff Hughes needs to put his head up under the chin of Pokey and try to get him down or back away and keep this fight standing.
It's a grinding pace right now.
We just got only 15 seconds left, and
Prokrivka with the takedown on Jeff Hughes.
and that might be the difference between the rounds.
It's going to be interesting to see how they score this round as Prokrivka finishes on top. Jeff Hughes doing a nice job of limiting the posture of Ryan Prokrivka.
But with that last takedown, that might be the difference in the judges' minds.
Yeah, you know, it's hard after 5 minutes of watching the grapple heavy first round to remember the first couple minutes,
right,
and what punches were landed.
And that's one of the things, even though Jeff Lights Out Hughes is with Evolve MMA, one of the things that Strong Style emphasizes, another gym that's a competitor, is that they
take a look at the action here. Go ahead. I'm sorry, John. Go ahead.
Oh, no. What I was going to say is one of the things Strong Style emphasizes is win the last 30 seconds. Because that might be if the judges, and I'm not dogging them, but you got a pretty even round. You're almost looking what's going to happen.
Well, you're looking for a reason. You're looking for a reason to give one of the fighters a round, and the takedown is that.
And that might just be Pokey's advantage here. So if I'm in the corner, if I'm John Cook, I'm telling him, listen, you got to come out and win this second round.
Round 2, heavyweight action scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. Jeff Hughes in the white, Ryan Pokey Prokrivka in the orange, visitor from that great state up north, Michigan. Heavy leg kick by Jeff Hughes on the outside of the lead left leg of Ryan Prokrivka. And we'll see if Jeff Hughes increases on the offensive output on the feet. In the corner of Ryan Prokrivka is imploring him to step into range when he throws his punches. Because right now this is Jeff Hughes' range.
Yeah, he is the longer fighter, and Pokey really needs to close that distance. If I'm in Pokey's corner, I'm telling him, close the distance, get this fight to the ground. If I'm in Hughes' corner, I'm saying keep using that jab.
And Pokey's really using that jab, just flicking it out there. Not a whole lot of intent.
Well, the problem, at least the way I see it, he could throw that jab all day long, but he's the shorter fighter. He doesn't have the arm reach.
Right.
So what's the point? Here's where you got to go. Yeah, get that fight tight.
Prokrivka, he swam in with those punches and landed a couple, and Jeff Hughes' response was to look annoyed. There's a takedown for Prokrivka. Now landing some ground and pound.
And I think this is where he wants the fight to be.
Well, absolutely. He's got some Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu credentials. He certainly is not winning the stand-up game against Jeff Hughes, and Hughes trying to get back up. Excellent job by the hometown favorite, Jeff Hughes.
Yeah, he did a great job. I've said it again and again that he's using the cage as his friend. You know, you can use that cage to shimmy yourself up, and he did just that. And now it's going to be Pokey's job to get him back down.
Look for some knees here from Jeff Hughes. There it is.
I'm surprised that Jeff's trying to take him down.
He does. Successful. And now Hughes has Prokrivka pinned up against the cage in half guard.
Yeah, and he's doing a great job right now, and I got to give all credit to Jeff Hughes. I thought he should have just pushed away and kept this fight standing, but instead he took it to the ground. And to his credit, he's in an admirable position. As one of my former jiu-jitsu instructors once said, actually Helson Gracie, he said half guard can be half mount. So be careful what you wish for.
That's right. And now can Prokrivka get off his back or back to his feet? Jeff Hughes right now doing a good job of controlling the action on the ground. Excellent top control.
Yeah, he's doing a real nice job controlling his hips. And Ryan, am I mistaken? Does Pokey just look exhausted?
He looks exhausted, but right before Hughes got that takedown, as Hughes got back to his feet, I saw Prokrivka take some really deep breaths. Yeah, it was a big knee started that, you know, it's like a video game and you've got this certain power tank, and anytime you get a knee, chips away.
Yeah.
Sometimes it chips away more than others, and I think Prokrivka lost a lot of his power when Hughes landed that big knee against the cage.
Yeah, he looks tired. Like
Well,
right now, he's not even. It's not like he's even defending. Granted, he's throwing some punches to the thighs, but he almost looks like, I just want these last 50 seconds to go away.
And that's essentially what he's trying to do here, John. He's just trying to ride this out. Now, let's not ignore the fact that there's a 250-pound man on top of him.
Which also helps.
That can also zap your cardio.
Yeah. And that 250-pound man is punching you in the face.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of factors at play here that do not signal real good things for Ryan Prokrivka.
Well, Prokrivka needs to get up in these last 18 seconds. He's got to do something, because right now, I think we got an even fight.
Jeff Hughes just paid tribute to the recent inductee in the UFC Hall of Fame with the Sakuraba double hammer fists. And if you don't know what that means, YouTube it.
I was going to say, got to do a little MMA history.
I think for Christmas I'm going to get Jeff Hughes some knee wraps and some elbow wraps and maybe an orange Speedo. That's Sakuraba. But here you go. This is right after the knee. And this was a surprising takedown by Jeff Hughes. But you know what, John? My comment on that would be that perhaps after that knee, Jeff Hughes felt the exhaustion of his opponent and said, this is the time to go for it.
And you know what? To his credit, I thought my analysis would have been to step away and start striking.
Here's the knee, John. I'm sorry. Take a look at this knee and watch Pokey's reaction. Boom. And you're going to see Pokey.
Yeah, that came right up under the ribs.
Yeah, look, I mean, right there, so I think, and then Hughes shot. You can feel the energy and strength come out of a guy. When he hit him and he releases all that energy, he's like, well, this is an easy takedown, I'm going to do it. And I'm thinking that that's what happened with Jeff Hughes.
And that very well could be.
5 minutes to decide this fight. Ryan Prokrivka in the orange, Jeff Hughes in the white. Hughes looking to me the much more conditioned fighter at this point. There's a left. It could be argued that it's 1 round apiece.
Yeah, right now, Ryan, I think it might be 1 round apiece, but Jeff Hughes definitely looks to be the sharper fighter right now.
Hughes has to be careful because Prokrivka is still throwing heavy shots. There's that overhand right from Prokrivka. Hughes seems content to pick him apart, relying on his head movement, almost sticking his head out there, asking for Prokrivka to fire so he can counter. Checked by Prokrivka. Goes the other way.
And he lands with that.
Oh, and I think that's a check hook by Prokrivka.
Yeah, that was a nice jab, or a hook by Prokrivka. Pokey, he keeps going. I think he sees Jeff Hughes' right hand dropping. Smart on his part.
And I expect Prokrivka to come wading in with those right and left hooks. Kind of puts his head down and starts throwing hooks. Hughes in opposite is throwing right down the pike, and he's landed. But Ryan Prokrivka is as tough as a $2 steak. Has no problem taking those punches, and he's still in this fight.
Yep. He ate that punch, and that was a big punch from Jeff Lights Out Hughes. And right now, John Cook is just screaming that he's going to go for a takedown.
And I can't tell if Prokrivka caught him there or what, but there was a close exchange. We've got 3 minutes left in this heavyweight contest. It's our co-main event at RFO Big Guns 24. Jeff Lights Out Hughes has not been able to find that lights out punch on Ryan Prokrivka. He's got him up against the cage, and there's another takedown attempt by Hughes.
Which we would expect it to be the other way.
Well, and Prokrivka has enough energy to turn him around. He's got an underhook on the right.
And what Pokey needs to do right now is get his head under Hughes's chin, try to stand him up, but they separate. Oh, head kick by Hughes, just misses.
Just misses, and Hughes shakes his head as if to say, I almost got you. And Ryan Prokrivka turns the tables and puts Jeff Hughes up against the cage. And this is such a close round, John, with 2 minutes to go. A takedown for either man could win this round and potentially the fight.
Yeah, nice jab by Hughes.
Huge jab by Hughes. Biggest punch of the round thus far. Another jab and the uppercut misses. But Hughes is starting to piece up Ryan Prokrivka.
Yep. If I'm Prokrivka, I've really got to get this fight to the ground.
Big breath from Ryan Prokrivka. There's a minute and a half left. And one of these fighters looking to put an exclamation point on the round and the fight. Prokrivka turns Hughes into the cage. And Hughes with the pummel takes away one of those underhooks.
And Hughes, if he can get this takedown, I think he wins the fight.
And he does. Jeff Hughes with a takedown.
I don't know if it was Hughes with the takedown or Prokrivka trying to get this fight to the ground, but either way, in the judge's mind, it's going to be Hughes has got the takedown. And now Hughes is taking every advantage of this opportunity.
Big elbow from Jeff Hughes, and he's opened up a cut underneath the left eye of Ryan Prokrivka.
Using the elbow as well. As I mentioned earlier, Helson Gracie once told me it could be half guard or half mount, depending on what you're doing.
Big fist. Jeff Hughes looking to finish. We're coming up to 20 seconds in the first and the final round of this fight. But Ryan Prokrivka is very, very tough. It's going to be difficult to stop him.
It's going to be difficult to stop him, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say I've got this. All three judges score it 29-28 for Jeff Hughes.
And Jeff Hughes looks to land one final punch. And that's the end of the fight. Jeff Hughes, Ryan Prokrivka go the distance in our co-main event. Heavyweights embrace.
And they live up to the expectation.
Good fight from these guys.
And Jeff Hughes looks a little disappointed. He's kind of shaking his head, looking at John Cook. John Cook smiling, thinking he has the winner in his corner, the red corner. In my opinion, Jeff Hughes wins this fight 29-28.
Yeah, that was a good fight for both these guys. Jeff Hughes feels like he did enough to get it done.
Yeah, he's already celebrating before we even get Jake Dickman with the official announcement. Pokey, I think he understands he lost this fight.
Yeah, and you could see it on his face. He looked over, he shook his head, but what a fight. Gave Jeff Hughes everything he could handle and then some.
Yeah, Jeff Hughes, there was two things that as we look at some of the replays, one of the things that Jeff Hughes really did was he utilized that jab unbelievably well. He really looked good.
Yeah, I thought Jeff Hughes kept him on the end with the jab, but it was the takedowns that I think not only surprised Ryan Prokrivka, but also won him the fight.
But we will see as Jake Dickman is gathering the scores from the judges, and he's going to be in the cage momentarily. You hear the roar of the crowd that is happy to see Jeff Lights Out Hughes perhaps get his another victory, and Jake Dickman is in the cage, and we shall make it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for both of these professional heavyweight warriors. After 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards, where all 3 judges have scored this bout 29-28 for your winner by unanimous decision, Jeff Lights Out Hughes!
Let's hear it for both these guys. That was a hell of a heavyweight fight. Thank you, Ryan. You're a warrior, man. Thank you. Great fight. I'm here with your winner, Jeff Lights Out Hughes. You're one of my favorite fighters, man. Your heart's golden. You understand what it takes on our side as promoters. And I just love to watch you perform. Your agility is awesome. How do you feel after that war with that big guy?
You know, it wasn't my best fight, but I'll take a W. That dude was tough. I knew coming in. You know, chubby white guys like me and him are just tough. I mean, we have to be, so. Didn't go the way I wanted, but a win's a win, so that's all that matters.
Your jab is what really set the pace in that fight. You throw big high kicks, and it's unseen from heavyweights. What do you got to say to all these red shirts out here, man?
Yeah, this is why I do it. Not only for my sanity do I fight, as crazy as that sounds, but these people over here, you know, anybody that came out here, actually everybody here. I love everybody. His fans, you know, strong style fan, it doesn't matter. Thank you for coming out and supporting me and everybody here. Matt, you're the best in the business. I'll put money on it. It's always a pleasure fighting here.
We are one big community, and we couldn't do it if we didn't do it together. I appreciate you, Jeff Hughes. Let's hear it one more time for your winner, Jeff Lights Out Hughes.